Smarterfan. Smarterfan. Yeah. Smarterfan.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another segment of Smarter Fan Podcast, where we bring you behind the veil of sports, business, and life. I'm Joe, and this is Barry. How you doing, Barry?
Man, Joe, I can't believe it. We've come to the end of the year. We're doing our special end of the year wrap up of all the shows that we've done in 2025. So it's going to be a great show. It's exciting. We're going to kind of get to go back down memory lane of some great episodes. And so it's going to be a fun night for Smarter Fan family.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So what you
And,
got cooking?
well, I tell you, the one thing that grabbed the headlines for a while was the gambling scandal.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, we saw 34 people get indicted, notably Chauncey Billups, and Terry Rozier and Damon Thomas, you
Yeah.
know, and it ranged from fixed poker games to prop betting, which I think they should just outlaw straight up, you know.
Yeah, what's amazing about that you've heard nothing else. So it gives me a feeling that a lot of that was smokescreen,
Mm,
but it definitely was a year of the scandal in betting. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it spilled over even into Major League Baseball. When you had those two pitchers, Luis Ortiz and Emmanuel Clase, you know, throwing bad pitches so that their betters could win huge bets. you
Yeah.
know, betting on balls and strikes.
Crazy game.
You
Crazy
know.
game. And down into college as
Oh
well.
yeah, yeah, yeah. 16 former Division One players were permanently banned for giving privileged information.
Unbelievable.
You
And what
know.
and what really hurts about that, if they would have just given it a little thought and just created a sports book for college.
Hmm.
Legally. You could have done that. Just selling information. That's all fantasy sports is.
Yeah, yeah. Well, a lot of this was linked to organized crime, so
Well, yeah, that's the problem.
you know. So yeah, yeah. It was just crazy. It was just crazy. But and by the way, Billups pled not guilty.
Yeah, they're all going to plead not guilty because I don't know how they're going to ever prove that unless you actually, that's going to be hard to prove. It really
Mm,
is.
yeah. Well, I mean, they had all of the devices that they used. I mean, between the X-ray tables and the machines that were dealing the cards, or shuffling the decks. It was they had a whole scheme that they were running.
Oh, that's no different than what goes on in Las Vegas.
Hmm.
They got, what do you think is going on? Why you think the house never loses, Joe?
Yeah, but
What do you think? The house never loses. They got that all monitored. They got a cap.
hmm
Even if you win in, folks will roll up on you. I saw this guy. He's a big time Vegas gambler, young man, and he was telling all their dirty secrets in Las Vegas.
mm,
He talked about
yeah.
one time. Talked about one time. I think he won maybe half a mil, and then he
Mm.
noticed that there was a vehicle blacked out across the street.
Uh-huh.
And come to realize he did some investigating. Well, there's people on the inside telling their friends on the outside as they're rolling this money out. And the guy they were chasing them and tried to, run them and rob them. So there's a lot of criminality going on. Yeah. Anyway, let me stop. Okay.
Yeah, so but yeah, it was just crazy, and so I know, and we talked about Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Yeah, listen, let me tell you something. Rowdy was a big, big story, him passing and what he brought to the wrestling. And I really just can't believe it. I still can see him in my mind acting crazy with that skirt on.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah, yeah.
and some of the other things that happen, in year reviews, the NFL power struggle, talking about backs. Do we need backs? And are they still valuable and all that foolishness? And, we also talked about, not to switch to Kirsusu, but, that Westbrook is an amazing NBA player that doesn't get the full credit. And
Mm-hmm.
he was with Jokic. I mean, someone says something so funny. They said they might as well just name the triple double Westbrook
Mm.
because he's got more than anybody,
Mm.
more than
Mm.
anybody. Just a phenomenal guy, phenomenal athlete. And then we talked about, great coaching versus raw talent. And I think something that's current that kind of reflects when you have bad coaching and great talent, Cleveland, what
Uh-huh.
that can look like.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah. We
know,
saw that firsthand.
I mean, it's just embarrassing. I mean, I think the people who said it, we voted him coach of the year 2 times, and I'm like, how? He didn't go to any playoff run. He didn't go to the Super Bowl.
Mm-mm.
What you get the award if you get a winning record? That's how this works now. So a lot of people got poo poo on their face. And then
Oh
we
yeah,
talked about the NBA's next generation, analyzing Scottie Pippen Jr.
yeah,
and Cooper
yeah.
Flag. And Cooper Flag, coming into the NBA 1 year at Duke and kid's doing his thing.
Yes, he is.
He's
Yes,
doing
he
his
is.
thing. So it's been an exciting first half of 2025. But what you got going on in the second quarter of 2025, my friend?
Well, the Dodgers, they won an epic 7-game World Series against the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
And they became the first team in 25 years to repeat. You
That's
know,
man, they're a problem. They're a
yeah.
problem.
Well, they've won three of the last in the last 5 years.
They're a problem.
Well,
Yeah.
see, this is the difference between the Dodgers and the Yankees. The Dodgers want to win, and the Yankees now all of a sudden want to be conservative with their spending. You know, and the Dodgers don't care how much money they spend.
No, you don't care because when you win, it multiplies. See, that's the problem with the Yankees. None of the DNA from George Steinbrenner crossed over the blood-brain barrier. They
Nope.
don't have a clue what they're doing. They don't have a clue.
No, no, they don't because
They don't have a clue.
to them that's their bread and butter. So they're trying to be conservative and run, like I said, they're trying to run it like a mom and pop operation now.
I don't know. Well, that's what happens when you really don't know. You know,
Yeah.
like Coach Prime says, either you're raising cats or you're raising dogs. And sometimes when you're well to do and the children you have and you don't focus, they end up being cats
Yeah.
instead of
Yeah.
dogs.
That's it.
That's
That's
why
it.
Mr. That's why Mr. Bus, before he left, he put Ginny in charge.
Mhm.
'Cause he
Mhm.
knew she's a dog. The rest of them
Yeah.
are a bunch of cats.
Yeah. That's for sure. That's for sure. And and now OKC they won the NBA championship. Which was their first since moving from Seattle.
That's so crazy. And them
You
boys
know.
is playing. They young, they hungry.
Yeah.
They got a good mix. I think I think, man, it's amazing what technology can do. Even though they're in a small market, they're able to generate great revenue
Oh
as
yeah.
though they were in a big market without the headache, I call it.
Mm. Mm.
And
Yeah.
that can be a very attractive situation. Because ain't nothing going on in Oklahoma after 11:30.
Nope. 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 That's for sure. So
Ain't that going on, brother? Ain't that
so
going on? So it kind of really lends itself to not really getting in any trouble. You know, it's
yeah.
interesting and you got a young team, young players, so it creates a certain culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, and it brings us to like you was talking about elite coaching.
Yeah, yeah. If they don't screw it up, like they did when they had Harden, Westbrook, and Durant, They
Mm.
got a shot. They got a shot, a legitimate shot of going and run and getting 5 rings and 4 rings in 5 years. They have a legitimate shot.
Yeah, yeah. Because
You
those,
know.
I mean, the Pacers, they put up a fight, in the finals, but as Muhammad Ali used to say, you mess with the best, and you will go down like the rest.
I think the Pacers are missing. They're missing an elite player who can really take over the game.
Mm,
That's what they're
yeah,
missing.
yeah.
Someone at the 2 or the 3.
Well, I
Then
think I think they kind of lost it when was it Halliburton that went down?
yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah. But they still
No.
need a piece. He still need a piece. They need another piece. Because if
Mm,
he don't if he like you saw, if he something happened to him, they pretty much out there. They got
yeah,
some good
yeah,
field players, Nemhard but say Siakam, and they got some good field players, but they don't have a dominant player that can they say take over the game. And they
right,
need they
yeah,
need that. And it doesn't necessarily need to be a scorer. It can be someone who really plays a role like Rodman,
right, yeah, yeah.
because people keep forgetting. Listen, I only need to beat you by 1 point,
Mm,
and that's called
yeah,
defense. I only need to beat you by 1 point.
yeah, yeah. So yeah.
So if you can't stop nobody, that's a problem. That's a problem. Anyway, let me stop. Let me stop.
Well, we also talked about pro ready players.
Yeah,
You know,
that's a big thing. I think with how the money has gotten so obscene and crazy, and I'm glad for players getting all the money they can get because it can end any moment. But at the same time, players are going to realize they need to be able to come in and perform now.
yeah,
You
yep,
got the big money. You need to be ready now. This ain't college. You ain't on scholarship. This ain't high school. Nobody. This is pro.
yep,
That means produce
yeah. It does.
every night. So you want that money? Here's the money. Now you need to
Hmm.
go out there and produce because you know what the things has been going around. But this is the situation with Kawhi. You know
Yeah,
the
yeah,
situations with the Zion. And even Michael Jordan has been chirping in like they get this money and they chilling.
yep.
But the other side that these players don't realize, you can become very in a very short period of time, 2 3 years, and you're not producing, you could lose that momentum
Mm,
and attraction to get the big money, right?
yeah, yeah,
It's a
yeah.
very funny thing. It's a great thing that Kyrie was doing what he was doing, but unfortunately, the situation when he was supposed to get that big money in Brooklyn, that situation happened. Um,
Well,
you look
that
at
was
John Morant was supposed to get a 200 million, but he couldn't stop playing around. Anyway, playing with
yeah.
himself.
Yeah, yeah. He was supposed to be the face of the league.
Yeah, and so in 2 3 years, life can change. And now
Mm,
Memphis is not really showing him that love. And the question is now, who gonna pick him up?
mm,
Do
mm.
you really want to build? See how it's funny because there's two things that work against you. You're getting older, and the money is so high. Is it really work? Can I really get? What am I gonna get out of you for the next 2 3 years? Am I gonna
Exactly.
get a chip, or do I get a kid like on the Pelicans right now? I forget his name right now. That boy is balling.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know who you're talking about.
And
Yeah.
he's 19.
Mm,
So you see
mm,
how you see how the money is. He's producing at 19. I'm more apt. I got a longer time horizon, money making horizon with him, as opposed to dealing with you, Zion. Because
mm-hmm,
you gotta be mid 20s now. So you're headed toward the back end, and you still getting hurt because you
mm-hmm.
eating too many crawfish or whatever you eating,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So right? Jock can't figure out what you're doing. You're getting older. So do I really want to spend that money? What am I gonna have a headache? Are you a real leader? Are you what have you done in Memphis besides be a highlight reel? Did they get far in the playoffs? You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
All those things begin to say, okay, we had the hype show, but you're 25, 26. Do I really want to spend that money? When I'm looking over
Mm.
here and saying, well, maybe we can find another. Look what the Pelicans found. And he's
Mm-hmm.
19. And
Yeah.
you see what Luca's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Luca looking fit, looking trim,
Yep.
and
Yep.
going to work.
Mm-hmm. That's for
So,
sure.
so these are the things that Pro Ready, F1 is going through its changes, and Cadillac
Yeah.
has joined, and Lewis Hamilton is with Ferrari, and lots going on. And I wanted to talk about, but I'll talk about it next week, the whole thing with Michael Jordan and the antitrust with NASCAR. Someone
Mm.
asked me what I thought that was all about. I said that was a power play by those people at NASCAR who really don't want to see people who look like us involved with NASCAR.
Mm.
But we are the market. We are the consumer base. We push the envelope. And you've
Yeah.
got the biggest face on the planet, and they're just not ready to let that go. It's
Yeah.
really about that. And that's why
And
I think they won.
yeah, and he got deep pockets, so he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, deep pockets.
you know.
Yeah, deep pockets.
So but yeah, it's crazy, but now the Final Four. This
Mm,
was only the second time in NCAA history that the
mm,
Final Four had four number one seeds.
that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you had Florida, and Auburn. They represented the SEC to the hilt, you know, and had Duke and Houston.
Mm,
So, and Florida beat Houston, and and we got, like you said, we got a glimpse of Cooper Flag. So,
dunking on everybody.
yeah, he's I think it was it the youngest player to put up 40 points.
Yeah, he giving them work.
You know,
They don't play
you
no
know.
defense, but they don't play. He giving them work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's
Well,
very skilled. He's very skilled.
yes, he is. Yes, he is.
He really is. He can play. Left hand, right hand, jump, move around the basket, handle the ball. Very skilled 6'11" cat guy. Very,
Yeah, yeah,
very skilled.
yeah. I give him his. I got to give him his props. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the other part of it we had going on last year, inside the deal, I always love talking about the business of sports.
Mm.
You have the sale of the Boston Celtics to a private equity mogul, Bill
Right.
Chisholm, for long money,
Oh
you know.
yeah.
Then you've got, the agent's playbook, sports agent Martez Brayboy shares his personal journey of building his agency, cultivating crucial relationships. Because even an agent has changed. What an agent is,
Mm.
you know, doesn't do, can do for you. That whole thing, as well as the league has changed because the money has changed everything.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
last but not least, the player's perspective, and, internet, when we talk about client Raphael Turner, he talked about international athlete. And
Yes.
really, really every athlete now, because sports is global, it's very
Mhm.
interesting times we live in, is an
Yes, it is.
international athlete.
Yes. 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 It's
Football's
fact.
global, basketball's global,
Mhm.
baseball's global, soccer's global. Soccer has exploded in 2025.
Yes,
There's
it
so
has.
many,
Yes.
there's so many leagues, I can't keep up, Joe.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
I'm like, what in, and they all making money.
Mm.
I'm like, man, this is amazing. Soccer's off the chain.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But it
Off the
always
chain.
has been. It always has been.
I
You know.
mean, man,
So
unbelievable.
now we lost some icons this
Yeah,
year.
we
You
did.
know. I mean, we lost George Foreman. And he made Joe Frazier look like a rag doll when he won his first title.
Man, you gonna bring that up again? He gonna bring that up again.
but and then he lost to Ali in the infamous rope-a-dope, in
Mm-hmm.
the Rumble in the Jungle, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then he came back and beat Michael Moorer to become the oldest heavyweight champion at 45.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know, so now unfortunately he passed away on March 21st at the age of 76.
Mm.
You know,
Big
you know,
George.
and we lost Bob Euchre. You
Yeah.
know, you know.
See?
Now he started out as a backup catcher with the Milwaukee Braves. You know,
Mm.
and
Braves or Brewers?
no, the Braves, the Milwaukee Braves, before they moved
Okay.
to Atlanta.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, and then after that he became the play-by-play for 54 years for the Brewers.
Wow.
you know,
Wow. What a run.
I'm telling you, man. You
That's a run.
know, and unfortunately he passed away on January 16th at the age of 90.
Mm.
God bless him. He lived a long life.
Got a long run. Got a
You
long.
know, you
Wow.
know, and then we also lost Lenny Wilkins.
Yeah.
You
Lenny,
know,
what a guy.
he led the Sonics to their one and only championship in '79.
Mm.
You know, now he's in the Hall of Fame as a player, a coach, and an assistant on the '92 Dream Team.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing career.
yeah, he had a hell of a lifespan too. He died on November 9th at the age of 88.
Mm.
You know, but now I want to give honorable mention to three legendary goaltenders we lost in a 2 week span in September.
Wow.
Eddie Jockman, the
Mm-hmm.
anchor of the New York Rangers. You
Mm-hmm.
know, Ken
Mm-hmm.
Dryden. He was just a legendary goalie with those Montreal Canadian Stanley Cup teams.
Mm-hmm.
And Bernie Perrant. He was part of the Broad Street Bullies.
Yeah.
So I got to give them their props, and may they all rest in peace.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely. So it's been quite a year in sports in 2025, Smarter Fan podcast family, and it's only going to get better and better. But we wanted to give you a year in review. Lots have happened: the good, the bad, the ugly, the sad, the joyous, the triumphant. So
yeah,
stay with
man.
us as we continue to grow and grow and grow, as this has been the year in review. And as we say, Joe,
Stay in the game.
stay in the game. See you and happy holidays
Yes, and check us out on YouTube.
everywhere.
Yes, yes, yes. All right.
Hey, Smarter Fan family, we've got a new sponsor to the show called Publisher in the Box. Simply, they're able to take a new author, an existing author, and create residual income from not only creating your book, but providing a conversational podcast, providing a e-learning course from your book. And with all those marketing tools, that's going to bring you more speaking engagements. So our new sponsor is Publisher in the Box. Get that book done. 2026 is really, really around the corner. It's time to get that book done. And I've seen the product. They produce some of my books. It is amazing. So I'm not just telling you as, the platform of Smarterfan, but I'm telling you as a customer, a publisher in the box myself. And I've got 5 books on Amazon. So call now. 914-330-2738. That's 914-330-2738. Be blessed.
Get that book written. Contact Publishers in a Box at the mseries.com. That's THEMSERIES.com. Smarter Fan. Ugh.